Well, hello Story Chasers, this is Amber, and today is 10-Minute Tuesday. 10-Minute Tuesday, I answer as many of your questions as I possibly can in the 10 minutes, or in the future, we might just take a couple of questions and really take a deeper dive into it. You know, it's always evolving over here at Story Chasing. I get all of these questions from you. That comes from all of my videos where you guys have commented and asked certain questions that are related to van life, RV life, business, YouTube, traveling, and being a digital nomad. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and hopefully your question will be covered in the next 10-Minute Tuesday. All right, guys, let's get started. 10 minutes up on the clock. So the first question comes from Dylan Chi, and Dylan is saying, Amber, can you tell me a little bit more about why you wanted to get rid of the e-bike? I've been scoping out some of the e-bikes out there and wanted to hear from the expert's take. I don't know how much of an expert I am, but I'll give you my experience, Dylan. If you guys didn't know, I got rid of my rad power bike. That's what Dylan is referring to. If you click right up here on this video, you'll see where I actually gave my e-bike away to this amazing man named Marvin, who was in really need of a different bike and a solution for him to get around town when I was in Charleston, South Carolina. I'd already decided that I wanted to get rid of the rad, and the only reason why is because, well, there's several reasons why. One, it's just too heavy for me. It's 67 pounds. Trying to load it on I have a Rocky Mount swing away tire hitch bike mount. It's a long string of words. It's hard for me to put it up there, even when it's lowered a little bit. It's just 67 pounds. I've always had to pick up the front and put the wheel on, pick up the back and put the wheel on. And because of it, I'll be honest, I just don't want to ride it as much because it's a pain to get up and down. And then I have this Velo sock that goes all around the entire bike to keep gravel and dirt and water from getting on the bike. And with that on, to put it on the rack with the Velo sock around it, it's just horrible. It's really, really difficult to get on there. So my thing was I just needed a different solution because one, of the weight, two, it was just kind of a pain. I was always concerned about theft, I think, on that bike because clearly you can see it is an electric bike and they're expensive. I love to bicycle, but that bike is so heavy, you have to always use pedal assist in order to bicycle, at least for me. So I can't use it like a traditional bike and just pedal without pedal assistance at all. So because of that, I was really looking for something else that would work for me. That just didn't work for me. And unfortunately, it was an expensive mistake. Now it's someone else's blessing. So I was glad to be able to give it to them. But that's really the only reason why the bike is just too heavy to ride as a normal bike, and I wanted to ride a normal bike. So the next question comes from Sean Smith. In your videos, it doesn't seem like you have much interaction with others in the Nomad community, but looks can be deceiving. Do you hang out much with other full-timers? Until probably next week, I'm the only one out here on the East Coast that I know of from my Nomad community. There's a few people here and there, but most of the group that I kind of hang out with are on the West Coast. They're not out here. A lot of people don't come out to the East Coast for a variety of reasons. The humidity, the heat, it's too congested, not enough land to boondock on. So in actuality, I do hang out a lot with my Nomad community when I'm around them, but I will say that I am a bit of a loner in a lot of ways. I'm an introvert. I like being by myself. I like being able to go out and do my own thing. And I also have my YouTube business. So a lot of times when I'm with my Nomad community, I tend to park kind of far away from them because I need to film a lot. It's not right for me to go over there and say, hey, you need to be quiet because my microphone is picking up your voice. That's just silly. So I either have to move when I film or just kind of park a little bit away from them so that I'm not disturbing them, they're not disturbing me. When I say disturbing, like, it's not intentional, it's just the nature of what I do for a living, which is filming. So yeah, I hang out with them a lot, but I have quite a few friends that are up here, that are coming up here now, and people that I'm meeting. So yeah, I think if you look back at a lot of my other videos, you'll see that there's a lot of interaction. We are going through this pandemic, you know what I mean? So that's put a damper on a lot of us getting together, especially this last year. It's getting better. A lot of us have gotten vaccinated. That is a personal choice, whether you want to do that or not. Please do not leave me any comments related to why I shouldn't have gotten it. your comment will just be deleted. And if you want to know why your comment would be deleted, it's because it's just too political. People get really upset about stuff like that. So it's just better to keep it to yourself. But I think it's getting better. The Escapers group is starting to do more convergences now this next year with some safety precautions in line. And so I think things are going to get better and we're going to see more people interacting again. The next question is from Life in Our RV. How do you store all of your videos and photos? What do you shoot on and how do you get them over to your laptop and how do you store them all? Must be a lot of data. There's a lot of questions in there. Okay, how do you store all your videos and photos? I use something called a Lacy drive. They're rugged, they're amazing. I probably have 5 or 6 of them, and I get the 5 terabyte ones because it holds a lot of information on there. So I put all of my photos and videos onto those drives. They're external hard drives. I do not upload them to the cloud because it's just way too much data that I would use. Photos that are on my phone, a lot of times those just get auto synced into iCloud. So there's that as well. But professionally speaking, everything that I do for YouTube and Instagram and all of that is loaded onto those Lacy drives. The other question was, what do you shoot on? So this right here is a Canon M50 Mark II. I just got it. I was using a Lumix G85, but the autofocus was like weirding out on it. And I've had that camera for a long time. I really like it actually. It's a bigger camera. It's much bigger than this Canon, but I will say I love this Canon. It's slimmer, it's lightweight, the autofocus is impeccable. I absolutely love the autofocus on this, so much better than the Lumix G85. And Canon's color quality is really outstanding. I think this is far superior to the Lumix G85. And right now, because they're not making the lenses for this M50 anymore, you can get an adapter for the other lenses, but because of that, they've dropped the price considerably. So it's right around $500, I think, on Amazon currently. It's a great camera and it takes really, really good quality video and photos. How do I get them over to my laptop? So photos and videos from my camera has just the little SD card. So I just take that SD card and slide it into the slot on my computer. Actually, I have an adapter for the computer because it's a MacBook and they did away with the SD card slots and some of their latest laptops. I had to buy an adapter that fits into the ports so that I can have an SD card. So that's what I use for that. As far as my phone, I use just a cord. I plug the USB cord also into the computer, and then I use image capture on the MacBook is how you get it off of your phone. And then as far as the GoPro, it also has a little tiny micro SD card in here that also fits into the adapter that I was referring to. The next question is from Barbara Gonzalez. What geographic book are you using to find these locations? So the book that she's referring to is the one that I'm constantly talking about in my videos, where I go to all these scenic highways and byways, and it's called the National Geographic 300 Scenic Highways and Byways book. I also have a link down in my description box of my video that will take you right to it on Amazon so you can check it out for yourself. I'm trying to accomplish all 300 of them. Okay, the next question is from My Liberty Van. You mentioned that when the Berkey filters disgusting water, you end up with a lot of gross water on top. How do you get rid of the water? Do you have to turn the Berkey upside down? Also, congratulations on your channel growing. It looks like it's blowing up. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, so that's exactly what I do. The Berkey water filter has the top chamber and the bottom chamber. And so I just pull the top chamber off and then dump the water out. And even sometimes while the filters are in there, I'll just do a quick clean in there with like a paper towel and then kind of wipe the filters off as well. You can unscrew the filters and get everything really, really super clean, but I kind of do that as an in-between cleaning out the entire chamber and taking the filters out. So yeah, that's it. The next question is from Kim and Goes. In addition to your Berkey water filter, do you also have an inline RV water filter that hooks up to your water source when filling or when hooked up at a campground? I have a Berkey in my truck camper and I love it, but I do not have an inline filter that I see so many other RVers have. So Kim Ann, yes, I do have an inline filter. So I attach it on the hose anytime I'm getting water from any source, doesn't matter what it is. So the water is being filtered on the way into the freshwater tank. And then of course I filter it again in the Berkey, because here's the reason why. Your freshwater tank, it's gonna get gross, guys. Think about this. If you had this cup of water, which I do, I always drink out of this, but you have to clean it out every once in a while because you've probably seen it before. It gets like a filmy slime in there. and it's just water, but it still does it. So you have to clean it out every once in a while. And the way you clean it out is with bleach. It's a whole big process, and you need to like be near a campground or someplace where you have access to a water source, because you have to fill it up with water like about halfway, put some bleach in there, ride around, slosh it around, empty it all, fill it up again, empty it all, fill it up, empty it all, until you don't smell the bleach coming out of the faucets anymore. Your water really should be filtered again coming out of your freshwater tank, because it's probably gonna be a little gross. So just like I was saying before, and the question that my Liberty van had is, sometimes there's gross water up in the top chamber of the Berkey filter where it's filtering the water, so it can be greenish brown, and that stuff is coming out of my freshwater tank. So sometimes it's a bad water source, sometimes it's just my tank is getting bad and I need to go clean it out. So always, always, always filter it again, even though it's filtered on the way in. Surprisingly, you can see if it's filtered on the way in and it's got that gross stuff in there, it could mean that my tank is bad and I need to clean it, or it could be that it somehow still got through the filter and I'm just filtering again through the Berkey. And the Berkey filters everything. Like, it's amazing. I highly, highly, highly suggest it. If you are interested in something like that, just click the link below. I have everything that I talk about, by the way, in my videos. I have a link to my Amazon store, and it has all my gear, everything I use, from camera equipment to RV stuff to camping equipment to clothes to pet stuff. It's all in there for you guys, so you can click on that link and find anything that you're looking for. If you can't find it for some reason and you have a question, just leave me a comment in one of my videos and I'll try to find it for you. The next question is from Liz Oliveira. Is that it? Instead of going through the trouble of finding space for more solar panels, isn't it more cost effective to invest in lithium batteries? That's a really great question. So what she's referring to is, in the last 10-minute Tuesday that I did, I can link it right up here for you, I was talking about how I really needed more solar and I could build a platform over the van so that it clears the AC unit and some other things up there, and then put more solar panels on. And so she's asking, wouldn't it be better just to get more lithium batteries instead? So here's the thing. I have plenty of battery. So I've got 400 amp hours altogether. That's 2 batteries, 200 amp hours each. The problem is that I just don't have enough solar coming in. So I have enough storage capacity in those batteries, but I just don't have enough ability to capture the solar and bring it in, because I just don't have enough solar panels. So that's why the batteries are being drained quickly, because they're just not filling up as much from the solar panels. So if I get more solar panels, I'll have plenty of battery to store it, and then I can keep consuming it. But when I don't have enough solar coming in, well, it kind of defeats the purpose. So anyways, that's the reason why. The whole solar thing can be like really confusing. When I had my Class C, I had AGM batteries, and those you can only discharge 50% or you can damage the battery. I had 750 watts of solar on top, which was perfect, but I just didn't have enough battery capacity. So now I have enough battery capacity, just not enough solar. The last question is from Karen Vigmostad. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm confused about you saying how much space there is in a truck camper. What am I missing? I've been RVing about 10 years, and to me, they are cramped and they have awful bathrooms. Most Class Cs are more roomy. I'm between RVs right now, but I had a Class B for 5 years. It was tight. I found it better laid out than my friend who had a truck camper. She also had to go between the truck camper to get into her camper, which was miserable if it was raining or buggy or dark outside. Anyways, I'm always ready to be educated. Some truck campers definitely can be more cramped, just like a Class C can be more cramped. It just really, really depends on what you get. If you have slides, how it was built out, how the furniture and everything is structured inside. The truck camper that I'm looking at is called a Host. That's the one that I really liked. It has slides on it, so it really, really opens up the space. I'm gonna link right here to a video from my friend Wendy, who has a Host truck camper. It's beautiful, it's amazing, it has the slides on it. It's like a small apartment inside. And then I'm gonna link to another truck camper tour right here from my friends Scott and Sasha. It's a New Camp truck camper, no slides. It's still more spacious than this. So a Class C probably would be a little bit more spacious, but this, if you see the design of it, it's very open. It's really great. I really love their truck camper. So some truck campers could be more cramped. some are not. Just depends on really which one you go with and how they do the layout inside. Thank you so much for joining me in this 10-minute Tuesday. I think I might have gone a little bit over, but hey, who's counting, right? If you have any other questions, leave me a comment below and let me know what questions you have about van life, about RV life, about, I don't know, whatever you want to talk about here. I will see you in the next video. Bye.